Please be advised that this video is for the sole purpose of entertainment. Any views are purely my own, are subjective and may not necessarily be true. I do, however, do extensive research for all of my videos. All photos have been found on the public domain. I am using them under the fair use and fair dealing guidelines. I urge everybody to do their own research. Well, hello, it's Murky Meg here. It's Thursday the 7th of November and unfortunately Camilla has had to pull out of the engagements with Harry and Meghan. Yesterday the Duchess of Cornwall was told by her doctor to cancel her engagements. Camilla was due to attend the event with Harry and Meghan but has been told by her doctor to cancel her engagements owing to a chest infection which has got progressively worse over the last couple of days. So Harry and Meghan went unaccompanied to the poppy-filled Remembrance Day, and I would imagine they were both told to behave and act accordingly. No hand-holding, no grabbing at Harry or unnecessary public affection. This is a serious engagement and it wouldn't be right to have them poring over each other. I do wonder if Camilla had a lucky escape, but she's patron of the poppy factory where the Remembrance poppies are made. I wear one with pride every single year, and so do my family and my children. It's an incredibly important association. So with Camilla, one could imagine that she could have possibly had her nose put out of joint slightly, having to be asked to babysit these two on a royal engagement. And like I said in my previous video, Harry's done this engagement before and nobody else has actually needed to hold his hand. Excuse the pun. But go they did together. Maybe I'm just being picky, but I thought she looked a tad scruffy if I'm perfectly honest. Why on earth is she wearing a teddy bear coat with a skinny belt right underneath her boobs? It doesn't look right. And she's also got extremely, in my opinion, scruffy boots on. They made it look even more scruffy because they weren't fitted. A good pair of fitted black boots would have been far better in my own personal opinion. It would have made her look smarter. And she also chose to wear navy, and I just think that's a bit of a no-no when you're at a remembrance service. And her hat actually looks like it's been superimposed here, doesn't it? That's a bit weird, isn't it? I also think she was quite stony-faced. It's almost as if she knows that she should look somber, but can't quite get the face right. Does that make sense? I hope it does. But by doing the coat up in the way that she has with the weird belt thing, already people have started the rumour. So many people have messaged me to say, is she pregnant? Does she want that speculation to be out there? It's a tricky one to actually pinpoint, isn't it? But I do feel, however, that no matter what she wore, people would always speculate that she was pregnant if she was wearing a coat because she's got previous form. But she doesn't look as polished as she could have done. She's got access to stylists galore, but she insists on wearing these belts under her boobs instead of around her waist, and then the clunky boots just makes her look pregnant and frumpy. And don't get me started on the hair. I don't mean to sound rude or petty, but this was a very important event. You need to look polished and dignified. The coat looks like a bathrobe with a posh belt around it, to be perfectly honest. She's trying to court those pregnancy rumours by clinching her coat and cupping her belly while laying the wreath for the fallen. Just doesn't sit well for me. But I do think Harry looked incredibly dapper and polished in his uniform. To be perfectly honest, he knows how important this particular day was and he got it spot on. And they didn't paw over each other like they normally do, and for that I'm really quite thankful. And then there was a really weird tweet from royal reporter Richard Palmer this morning. Harry and Meghan met service families yesterday, but surprisingly, Buckingham Palace said reporting it was embargoed until 9 a.m. today, and then put it in a court circular published last night. That's all I'll say about it. Then it ended the tweet with a facepalm, a shrug, and a winking emoji. What the hell is that all about? So they went to this event yesterday and the press were told they were not allowed to report on it. Now, there are a few reasons as to why I think this may have been embargoed, but none of them really do actually make much sense, so please bear with me. Buckingham Palace wanted to protect the privacy of the families, but that doesn't make sense because it was embargoed until 9 a.m. this morning, and so they were in the press anyway. Possibly embargoed because the Queen and also Charles and Camilla had a string of engagements yesterday, and the Sussexes have been told to lay off with the self-promotion, particularly with regards to the servicemen at this time, or they wanted it to be released via their Instagram first. Which is more plausible to you? The couple met families from servicemen who are in Windsor when they visited a coffee morning at Windsor's Broome Farm Community Centre yesterday, in the heart of an army housing estate where they praised military families that hold it together back home. And lo and behold, they make it all about themselves yet again. They shared details about life with baby son Archie as he turns 6 months old, telling the group that he's beginning to crawl and has 2 teeth. I don't get it. We, the British people, are not worthy enough to see this Messiah child, but they can use him to try and gain popularity. So now they want the public to know about their baby. It's too little, too late. Unfortunately, they chose to ignore the hand that feeds them and have bitten the press that report on them. They didn't want to share information about Archie with the public, so why should we want to know any information about him? As for praising military families as keeping it together, I find that quite patronising, because what keeping it together actually means, Meghan, is a stiff upper lip. But do you know what? You've tried the stiff upper lip, haven't you? And it didn't work for you, did it, Poppet? I'd also like to raise the question, why didn't they take Archie along? That would have been the perfect way to say, ta-da, here he is. Just a normal family going down and supporting other normal families with children. Again, it seems to be that he is not worthy for us or anybody else to see. And that makes me extremely sad. So I did wonder how they were going to upstage Remembrance events, and they brought the Archie card out. Not visually, but in spirit. I'm still bugged about this embargo though, and I can't figure out why they did it. I'm hoping the fact that more senior royal members had events so they got pushed down the line, and I really hope that it wasn't so the news could be broken on their Instagram feed first, because that is a very dangerous game to play with the press. They will start biting back extremely soon if this continues. As always, let me know what you think in the comments. How about your thoughts on how Meghan was dressed? Do you think that she looked smart enough for this very important remembrance service? And do you think that she's stoking those pregnancy rumours by wearing this particular coat in the way that she did? Or do you think whatever she wore, those rumours are always going to follow her? What do you think is the reason behind the embargo that the press were not allowed to report on yesterday's visiting of the servicemen's families? And what do you think of the comments that they both made about Archie crawling and having teeth? Do you think they were trying to claw back some popularity, or do you think it's all a charade to try and gain publicity? As always, let me know what you think. Thank you very much for watching. If you've enjoyed this video, please hit that like button, hit subscribe and hit that notification bell. I'd like to thank everyone who has donated to my channel. It's because of your kind generosity which enables me to release worthy and interesting contents. So I say thank you from the bottom of my heart. Once again, thank you for watching, and I'll see you very soon.